Well, you're not getting any help from the Democrats, but this is what you said in your letter. You said, this is your responsibility, whether you realize it or not. You have made numerous false statements about Fast and Furious that have eventually been proven to be untrue. Your lack of trustworthiness while speaking about Fast and Furious has called into question your overall credibility as Attorney General. And you wrote him, the time for deflecting blame and obstructing our investigation is over, and the time has come for you to come clean to the American public about what you knew, when you knew it, and who is going to be held accountable for failing to shut down a program that has already had deadly consequences and will likely have more casualties for years to come.
Exactly right. I told him that he owns this, and he particularly owns it when he obviously does know who knew and when they knew it, and he's not been forthcoming with it. Just the opposite. He is constantly trying to deflect it with various activities. As you saw yesterday, he was furious when he held a press conference intended to look good for him on the attempted assassination of the Saudi ambassador. And he was just, this conference is over when somebody wants to ask him about something that he was untruthful about and now fails to want to answer any questions on.
Is there a total of 5 memos now? That was the last that I read on Fast and Furious that were given to him before he denied knowing about it?
These are the 5 we have through discovery. As you know, most of what we get is either redacted, all black, or it's withheld, and we still have a huge amount we don't have. And that's been the story here, Sean, is that repeatedly, they have delayed or denied us information even after a constitutionally mandated subpoena has been served on them.
Well, John McCain said that he is now at the point where he's probably ready to support a special prosecutor or leaning towards calling for a special prosecutor for Holder. Tell us, what happens from here. If you have an Attorney General of the United States who potentially is lying to Congress, covering up such what would be a crime, what's the next step? What do you do next after you've subpoenaed him?
Well, ultimately, the president has to at some point lose confidence, or the American people lose confidence in the president. If we have to have a special prosecutor to investigate the top law enforcement officer of our government, then in fact the system has broken down. That sort of investigation makes it impossible for the Attorney General to do his job. And of course, that impossibility is based on the American people have seen on your show and others thousands and thousands of times here, and not to mention the YouTube moments. This guy didn't tell us the truth. It's very clear. So how can he continue to keep his job? This is a question that's becoming a question for the president. Do we need a special prosecutor to investigate the rest of justice? Yes. Does the president need to deal with his attorney general directly? Absolutely.
Doesn't he have a pattern of this? Wasn't there an issue in 2001 when your committee questioned the accuracy of Holder's depiction of what he did as Deputy Attorney General and the last-minute pardon of fugitive financier Mark Rich, and 2 years earlier came under fire for refusing to tell a Senate committee whether the Justice Department had recommended against Clinton's clemency of 16 Puerto Rican nationalists that, by the way, were on video making bombs?
This is part of the history of Eric Holder. It was one of the reasons I was shocked when he was confirmed. Generally, for the top law enforcement operator, you want somebody whose record is beyond reproach. Eric Holder certainly didn't meet that standard when he was sworn in.
Unbelievable. All right, well, I know that's like pulling teeth here, but I wish you all the best in your investigation. We have innocent people dead as a result of this unbelievably bad decision.